Okay, thank you. Welcome back. So this will wrap up the little short series of the Solar Codex of the Earth system. If you're with me still now, again, I thank you for your time and patience through this and your continued support and viewership. And this is Chapter 7, the full reflection, and maybe what are kind of next steps. We've now traced the full outline of the Solar Codex of the Earth system, a model born not from speculation, but from direct observation, harmonic resonance, and a return to what is self-evident when one looks clearly and feels deeply. This model may be radical to some, but its foundation is simple. A spinning disk rotating counterclockwise, a local sun phasing through grooves like a tone arm across a record, a dual magnetic structure anchoring north and south, a recursive solar path, the anomola revealing time as a pattern, a firmament not as a dome, but a living membrane of light and memory, a moon not as a rock, but as a mirror, reflecting the image of the world below. This is not myth, it is not dogma, it is open source reality model, testable, observable, and adaptive. You now hold the blueprint, but this is not the end, this is the beginning. Here's what we can do with it. Test the model, go outside, record star trails, watch the moon, track the sun's path for a month, a season, a year. Build your own visual model or simulation. Challenge everything, not to dismiss it, but to deepen it. Use your skills, scientific, artistic, spiritual, or technical, to clarify and improve this system. If something doesn't align, dig deeper. This model isn't afraid of challenges, it grows from it. Share the codex. This belongs to no one. It is an offering, a resonance field meant to awaken memory, not control it. If it resonates, share it. If it expands your view, invite others in. This is kind of a final word that I'd like to write down and speak into existence. You do not live on Earth, you live within the Earth system. And the Earth system is not just the soil and sky, it is consciousness and code. What we call reality is not a fixed structure, but a recursively encoded light field, sustained by rhythm, resonance, and relationship. You are not separate from it. You are a line of the codex itself. The firmament reflects you, the moon reflects you. The model is not just a map, it's a mirror. So as you go forward, know that the Earth Codex is not meant to convince, it is meant to awaken. To the field, to the pattern, to the great memory inside you. This is not the end. This is the invitation. Welcome to the Codex. So I'd like to take a brief moment here to finish in a final thought that is not written down. We're seeing the energies change in our field. They're actually trying to keep us from it. I've experienced it. I think others will actually start to resonate with that too, and it's okay to talk about it. Using the term crazy and all these other things that they want to call people, especially the people who are trying to stay in powers of control or different measures of oppression and versus oppressor, those are just what I call like Nazi learned rhetoric. Like they just want to call people that because I've literally seen it where some people don't even really care about the information, which that's fine. I mean, I would want to understand my world a little bit better, and that's not a judgment. It's just, that's kind of my understanding. But I've seen people energetically even just get sometimes frustrated. And if that is you and you turn off this video because you have a hint of you think stuff is crazy, go observe. Because that everybody can do. And so to bring this into full circle, this took a long time I want people to know this was actually built upon years of meditation and grounding and observing myself. And I almost deleted one of my old posts where I talked about like doing a spiritual trip with a person, and I talked about UFOs, which that is what we saw because we can't identify them and they just move differently. They weren't planes, they were at night. We don't know what those are. I mean, there's going to be some stuff up there that we probably don't know, but it doesn't mean it's outside of our world. outside that firmament. Because at night, all we can see is anything with light up there. We don't know what it is. So I did not remove that post because that was a part of my consciousness back then. And I didn't understand things the way I do now. And I'm not here to sit in a capacity that outside this membrane, outside of this system, there isn't other systems out there, and that we can somehow tune into them or co-create them with them or realign with them. I still sit in the position of I'm not going to decide that right now because I don't have to. I don't have to make that decision. So I challenge people with this information that, again, this is an observable based model. So these are observations. You have an amazing device in your hand and that is another big measure of control, where you can literally walk around with a PhD in your pocket on so many different topics. You have to discern stuff, but you can find it. It's there on so many different platforms. So, always use it with discernment, even this. But I say that to people to make them aware that if the information makes you emotional in any way, or you have a big, what I would call kind of head in the sand or mundane mind attitude about it, sit with that for a minute, because nobody's saying you have to go be a scientist with it, or that you have to go, paint elaborate drawings on a wall somewhere of it. It's just, you further the collective in your own existence by understanding at least some basic natural laws a little bit differently. And you're only gonna learn that by coming to that conclusion on your own. This is just a guide. It's not a definite. My truest belief is that, and understanding is that, nature and cycles show us that yes, we live in a predeterminate type of reality with cycles, but there's a lot of free will in there. We co-create with that free will. So be a part of it. It's a beautiful thing, and it's a good space to sit in, and it's a good space to challenge yourself a little bit if you start feeling that emotional reaction, or you can't, feel like you understand things at a deeper level, or it's too complicated. The people that say, I don't care, I can't help you there. So I'll end with that. So again, thank you for your time and attention today. This was an amazing day. I wanted to get this done a tad sooner. There's going to be, I guess, an electric recording that my friend Michael's going to do of this and chop it up, and so it'd be kind of neat. And then we're going to get on some lives and talk about this a little bit, but you should see it on different social platforms. And I publicated the guidebook as well, so you could even read that as you go through this with me, or read that separately on your own. I will get some links attached to stuff so people will easily be able to click on stuff, so I don't have to search a lot for it. But guys, with AI, stop using Google. Mom, I'm talking to you. Like, your AI, you can just talk to it and tell you kind of what you want it, and it should start populating, hopefully, as long as I don't get too shadow banned like they do. And my lived experience, I can say that I have credits to back that up. I have well documented stuff that when certain information gets released, I get hit so hard, you guys, with shadow banning, and just, that's why I apologize if you were a follower and I removed you. You'll notice I'm literally limited to like a couple people, and it was not out of not wanting people to follow my stuff. It was out of these algorithms and bot accounts attached to my content, and then it's limited and people can't see it, and I've seen my numbers do that very thing. So that was the only way, and I've noticed my numbers go back up until maybe they figure out another way to, challenge that. But the algorithm right now shows that that's been my lived experience. So trying to get this out in different avenues and formats and all at the same time. And for me, to say it did come from me is not, again, from an ego standpoint. It's because, honestly, I don't want other people to start following other people because they're right about this stuff, even though they have other motives, and one may ask, like, why would they want to hide it and then disclose it? Well, they know things are going to get disclosed, certain things. There's certain things they obviously are going to really try not to disclose, Epstein files, but like that's they know it is, and they want to maintain the avenue of how that's disclosed, so that they maintain your loyalty and your trust and your dependence. And you just give them that moral authority, and then we give it to our children, they give it to their kids. So all those before us, I have a lot of compassion, and as even adults awaken from this, that we're a part of the very fabric of nature itself, and it's not outside of us, and there's these other metaphysical things that tie us into our physical reality, and we're not just biological. In due time, I'll be able to share some of my own spiritual practices and have measurements so people can see what those are, because there is parts about your DNA, and meditating with different stuff, you'll see frequencies, temperatures, and things that will start to be vast and what people will be searching for on their own journey. And I will say this in my final closing. It's like anything, I have a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, I don't have very many people around me anymore, but those that are, there's some of them that are very good at what they do. Like, even I have a niece who almost made the Olympic team as a gymnast at 16, just recently. She's amazing. So, like, it's kind of like I would say is that, um, my spiritual practice and how I tap in and what I do is if someone would call it like of a shamanic value, it's discipline, and it is a craft of master, ascended master skill for me, and I'm embracing that fully, because just like anything, just because you're not a master doesn't mean that you can't start learning it and doing it. And if you want to become somebody like that, if you want to, and that's what they teach in ancient civilizations. If you wanted to follow shamanism, if you wanted to follow the ancient, leaders, not the ancient, but the wise leaders of the group, you could do that. And there's some people that wasn't their forte. They wanted to be really better at something else, and that drove their motivation, and they just did a little bit of the other. That's okay too. Like, you don't need to, this isn't a, be like that guy. I'm not Nick Fuentes. I'm not, all these people that want you to follow them and follow their narrative and continue these same talking points that just leave you into dogma and dismal and obedience, and bloodshed too. And then that's where you start killing one another for these differences of opinion. So love all to the field. Blessed we all be, and the sky here is amazing. I wish I could show you right now. However, I'm just going to close this out and get about my day. I've spent several hours, like, actually, putting the whole codex in these recordings. It was really important for me to just do it in a certain way. And I've learned that too, that like I would rather do it the way that I want to intentionally work with it, instead of like rushing it thinking I have to get it done, because then my masculine logical brain gets too much and I get in my own way, and I don't. That's about us at learning our own energetic balances. So if you've sat with me through every word, bless you. And thank you for your time and attention. But I hope people really take this information at heart, and they understand that they have the free will decision to do with whatever they want with the information they're given. However, it is up to you to decide how you want your world to look like, and your children's world. And these are holistic in nature, and these are from good practices, and these are to liberate people. These are not to, keep the same, what I always say, Groundhog Day energy recycled over and over and over. This is a liberation of sorts. So if people want to call, like, what you're hearing sweeping across, the second coming of Christ consciousness, or whatever that energetic structure may be that they're tapping into, their own intuitive spiritual side, however they attach to that, I think that part of my message right now will resonate with those people. So continue on your journey, and understand that the Hindus and Vedics also got it right, that there's a lot of growth, that the suffering you have to go through the suffering, and that's very challenging, and detachment from form identity, and a lot of things that keep you and us in chains. So let's rise collectively, and again, thank you for your time and your attention today and your presence. Hopefully I will be able to divulge and expand even into, I have a lot of deeper knowledge even into some of this stuff. And I can't wait to hopefully share that with people someday. That is one of my archetypes and what I've understood to be purposes on Earth and inside the system, is a remembrance of things, and as a help and a guide to those to do it too, not always by voice but also by action. So this is also that, me speaking out in that action. Some of this video was not that easy for me to do because I know how certain people can and will view it, in the opposition it creates sometimes in relationships. So again, blessed we are today. Can't wait till the new year coming up and spring and new beginnings, because this is just the start. I do have some more codexes that I think will be expansive in other sciences and other areas. So much love. Blessed for your time. Thank you.